Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity episode 9 reaction. Alright, the previous episode we had Subaru apologize to the guys, and the guys also kind of apologized to them, especially Saku apologized because he kind of misbehaved before. Subaru also did the same, and like they, as a token of like apology, they gave like some snacks and everything. Subaru got like snacks from some really good place, and all the boys were very happy. Everything worked out. Things are okay now, and yeah, no trouble between the two groups. So that happened in the first section. The second section was Rintaro goes with Kaoru on in the aquarium, and they kind of hang out over there. A child was lost, they help them out. This is also where Rintaro realizes his feelings for Kaoru, and that's where it ended. So let's see what happens in this episode. Let us begin. I'll be putting subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh boy. What's happening? Oh, there he is. Damn. What? Right. Is he guy like thinking about the previous day? That's why he's like in a daze? The aquarium. Hmm. Well, well. That's why everyone's freaking out. Is he like sick or something? What's happening? Right. Right. He got reminded of the previous day. Yeah. Yeah, he was thinking about that. Hmm. Oh, was it like crouching behind? Oh, wait. He never mentioned it to his friends that his place is like a patissier, like a pastry shop. No, no, I think he'll be like, no, good time, good time to tell them. Hmm. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, there you go. He's like, oh, we can. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Wait, did he bring cake? That would be pretty funny. He brought cake to a cake shop. That actually pretty funny. Ugh. Mm. Yeah. Oh, Wagyu is here. Wait, there's a possibility she brought Subaru with her. No, Karuko? Brother. Hmm. Okay. Well, Karuko's there. Oh yeah, there you go. I knew it. I was like, she probably brought Subaru with her. Because she never brought her to this place, Subaru. So yeah. Wait, this is the first time she actually came up, right? To because she was up until now she was just in the shop up until now. Like, wait a minute. Oh my god. Oh damn, yo. Right. Well, you usually don't bring people in, so Mm. What? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, like I'm also curious because there must be a reason. Also, some reason. Like, he's already kind of like judged by people. So dyeing his hair blonde, wouldn't make right. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Well, Oh, I guess they didn't have the shop back then. Full shop. The foreigner was probably blonde haired, and he was very. Hmm. Yep, there you go. Blonde haired with earrings. I guess that's why his mom as well. That's the brother. Hmm. Oh wait, she. Okay, so they already had a shop. Okay, never mind. Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say like it's gonna make people. Yeah. Okay. And I'm guessing his mother also dyed her hair because of that. Hmm. Well, you're friends now. Hmm. Well, oh. Oh, here we go. Damn, his dad's voice is so thick. What? What is? Yeah. Okay, I don't understand one thing. He he looks pretty short here. So why did people get afraid of him? Hmm, she wanted to support that because he usually doesn't ask for anything. Hmm. Ah, so that he goes on with. Oh, damn. Mm. Yeah. Blonde hair and pierced ears. Okay. All right. So there you go. That you know, one of the biggest questions I had got revealed. So I don't know. I thought it would be something else, but it was a very simple reason. He just liked it, but he was afraid. Not afraid, I guess you could say. He was hesitant. That's the correct word. He was hesitant in going on with it, even after asking, the permission, because they were in the service industry. So his mom was like, unless, if he sees I myself, who am, in the shop, if he sees me doing it, then he would probably not shy away, because he brought that up. He probably would have still shied away from doing it, but after seeing his mother do it, she would he would then be like, okay, let me do it as well. So that's why she also dyed her hair and pierced her ears, so that Rintaro can go along with it, uh, get the courage to go on with it. So that was the reason. But there's another, like, oh, okay, I'm thinking, when was this, like, with this past flashback that we were seeing? Okay, wait a minute, I'll talk about it later. What the hell is going on? Oh, they're playing. Yeah, they're playing. Oh my god, Mario Kart. Last place. Oh. Yep. Oh, maybe they're planning on, I don't know, doing something. Um, what? Oh boy. Right. Wait, didn't they have an exam a few days ago? How many exams do they? What the hell? Oh no, that was pretty while ago. It was like a month ago or something. I remember. Okay, all right. And there you go. That was today's episode. Now, what I was trying to say here is that, when, like, in the flashback that we were seeing, when was that happening? Like, how old was Rintaro then? Because he, like, now he's very tall. You can see it, but he wasn't really, like, he looked pretty, like everyone, right? He wasn't really that much tall at that age. Like, he's pretty tall now, but at that age he seemed pretty normal. Like. and his hair color was yellow. He not yellow, sorry, was black. And not only that, his it didn't seem like his face looked, like, the sometimes now that we see his face scares people. It didn't seem like that either. So why did uh, you know the children, why were they afraid of him, or not afraid, but why did they, like, why did they like act like that in front of him? I don't understand. Okay, I have no idea. Like, I guess it's just like, kids being kids, I guess. Like, it's just no reason, like, whatever. Like the whole, like, this is a thing, this is like a thing, uh not only kids, but it, like, everywhere this is a thing, like this whole hierarchy. Whenever you go into like a, be it like a new environment, it could be any type of environment, there's always this hierarchy. Sometimes it's very prominent, and sometimes it's kind of low key, but it still exists. And it happens more in like when like, like when they're like at a young age. Like, I remember, like I said, it happens predominantly in schools. They have this whole thing where there's these few students who are like the, like the what can I say, like the cool kids, or like, that kind of thing. And then there are the other people and everything, and then there's some students who are just like at the bottom without any type of reason. The main reason being probably because they're it all like boils down to, at the end of the day, it all boils down to, I guess, how much extroverted you are. The more introverted you are, the more people will get you. Like, I've seen that, like, it's something that I have noticed. Like, obviously, the people who are at the top of the hierarchy, like the cool kids, they're extremely extroverted. Like, they just, laugh out loud. They do like, the more noisy you are, the more, like, like charismatic you are, the more like extroverted you are, the more people will look up at you. And the more you're like inside your shell, keeping to yourself and everything, shy, yeah, the more bottom down the ladder you will be. So yeah, that was a thing. Not was, that is a thing, obviously. So I guess it's probably something like that. Just, like, because he was probably quiet, he didn't really talk to many people, didn't interact that much. Maybe, he just got became like a target for people to just act like that. And then after he, like, dyed his hair and everything, the whole thing started changing, where people started actually getting afraid of him. And and the more he grew, the more tall he became, the more people started getting afraid of him and everything. So something like that, I guess it was. um you know so yeah, anyways. So yeah, so today we get to see uh his friends come to his place. And he never shared this with his friends, like what type of a place he lives in. It's a patissier, a cake shop. He never said that. So now he was like, what, better, like, this is like the perfect timing. We already had a conversation. I told them that I'm going to, like, try my best to be more friendly with them. They also are going to, like, it's, we had that whole conversation, everything worked out. So it's a good enough time to actually tell them. And I'm sure, like, they won't really judge me as the others have had done up until now. Right. And so they came in, and then Waguri and Saku, what was her name, Subaru also ended up coming. And so they had like a little bit of a, like a party, kind of, I guess you could say. Yeah. And that was today's episode. Now, like I said, in this episode we get to know the reason why he has blonde hair and piercing. So basically, it was very simple. It was not really that much of, like, it's not really anything like very very significant or very complex, whatever. Like, it was nothing. It was a very simple reason. He Once he went to a shop with his parents, ate the cake, really liked it, looked at the chef, who was a foreigner. He had naturally blonde hair, piercings and everything. And looking at him, he saw like how he was enjoying making it and everything, and that fascinated him. So he was like, "Oh, I want to get piercings and blonde hair when I grow up." And usually, it's kind of interesting because I feel like I feel like in any type of other situation, or if any other, like if someone says something like that to their parents, the parents would be furious. Can you imagine? Like I like it's crazy. But the situation with Rintaro was very different because Rintaro never asks for anything. He is very inside his shell to himself, and has never asked for anything. He has had a lot of like trouble with connecting with other people, and we have seen that. you know so obviously the fact that he actually gathered the courage to say something like this was something that his mother appreciated. So she was like, yeah, sure, go ahead, like, no problem. Like, at least, like, she was probably thinking, at least he has said something to me. Up until now, he's never asked for anything or done. So, it was a different type of thing. And because, like, and here's the thing, she also changed her hair color and got the piercing so that he can do it as well, because she didn't want him to let go of this wish that he wanted for himself, because she knows what type of a, like, person Rintaro is. He knows that he'll probably overthink this, and he'll probably in the end shy away from going through with it. So that would not be okay, because if he does that, if he shies away from it, then this is obviously going to affect him later, where he won't be able to take a decision and do something for himself. He'll always just back out of it. you know so his mother really wanted him to actually go through with what he wanted. And so that happens, she herself pierced her ear and, like, made her hair, colored her hair, so that he sees that and he gathers more courage and goes through with it. Because, like I said, it seems pretty, a pretty normal type of a, like, like a situation. But it is very important, because Rintaro never usually asks for something. So, like, his mother wanted him to actually, the fact that he actually asked something, his mother wanted him to go through with it. Because if he backs out of it, then, like, it actually won't be good. Like, she wanted him to go through with it. She wanted him to take a decision for himself and go through with that decision, gather the courage to go through with it. Because, if he backs out, he'll never get the courage to do anything in the future. He'll always have this tendency to back out, something like that. And also, obviously, you know keep, like, let's just keep that up aside, that whole reasoning. A more, I guess you could say, a more, another reasoning you could say why she wanted him to go through with it is because the first time he wanted to do something. Someone who never asks something, usually doesn't ask something or anything, that person has asked for something. So, as a mother, she would want him to do it, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's basically something like that. It's very I wouldn't call it interesting, but it's very, yeah, I guess you could say it's very interesting how, like, different people in different circumstances, their situation changes based on how they are. Because I will say, I have personal experience with, like, situations like this, where usually, like, here's the thing. um I remember a lot of my friends, like, I wouldn't call it when we were kids, but we were pretty old back then. We were still in school, and I remember a lot of, like, like, old enough to go outside alone, that type of old. After that, we had, like, I had a lot of friends, and they used to say, like, they used to, like, go outside and, like, like, play and do stuff and all that, like, hang out with friends and all that. And I remember, like, that, like, it was the age when we were barely, like, old enough to go out alone. So I remember them saying stuff like, oh, like, like, my parents don't allow me. Like, whenever I say that, oh, I want to go out to hang out with my friends, they don't allow me, like, and, stuff like that. So that was a thing. Now, I remember when I asked my parents, like I was someone who never used to go out at all. Like, like video games and stuff. It's just, and I feel like it's pretty common story. Like, at that age, just glued to your computer playing video games and everything. Like watching animes and stuff. I didn't really watch that much anime back then. Um, so yeah, that was who I am. So I remember when I said that, oh, you know what, there was like a little thing where my friends said, let's hang out together. I asked that, oh, I want to hang out with my friends. My mother was like, yeah, go ahead. Like, no, I didn't need to ask for any other thing. Immediately she was like, yeah, go ahead. Because I never do something like that. Like, and that is something, like, like the fact that I actually, like decided to go outside alone with my, not alone, with my friends and do something, that in itself was something that I'd have never done. So, like they were very easy to give permission. It's something like that. That's why I said I have like personal experience with situations like this, where when you don't really ask for something or do something, when you gather the courage or whatever to go through with it, your parents will obviously support you. So that kind of thing. So yeah, it's basically that, and that is why, like, and I you know what, I never really real like, I up until when they revealed why his mom had dyed the hair, I didn't really understand why. Like, I was like, yeah, Rintaro wanted to dye his hair, why did his mom dye his hair? Like, I couldn't understand the reason. But it, after she explained it, it makes a lot more sense, because as she said that he never would have gathered the, like, even though he asked her for permission, he never would have gathered the courage to go through with it. He probably second guess himself and then back out. So if he sees his mother himself did that, his mother who's literally in front of the customers, giving them, like, the cakes and everything, eh, that person did it, he would gather the courage to do it himself. So yeah, that's why. Right. And yeah, and like, obviously not only in today's episode did we see, like, obviously Rintaro is a very, like, new experience. First time his friends have come in, and like they're like hanging out and everything. So not only that, but you could say this was also a very, um how was that word, like a nice experience for his mother as well, because she's finally like, oh, thank God, someone, or at least some people, have actually connected with him. Like, up until now he literally had no one. He was like all alone, went to school all alone, came back all alone, had no friends, always inside the home, wanted to connect with people but never was able to. People either got afraid of him, or they said bad stuff about him, all these things. So now that finally it's like he's at the stage where he has people who wants to come and hang out with him in his home. So yeah, so it's a very, I guess you could say, nice experience for his mother as well, who obviously was very concerned about Rintaro up until now. Yeah. So, right. And like when, um in that flashback, when his father said that, oh, like, don't, like, I hope that one day he'll understand what you've done for him. Yeah, like, we literally saw that, like, Rintaro came and he's like, oh, thank you. Like, I'm guessing he's probably thanking her for, this day, like, for help, like, like, for making the food and everything and doing everything and welcoming his friends. But, like, his mother definitely took it as more of a thank you for doing so many things, like, like, for me, like, it's a like, it's a, like, a gratitude that she got. So she takes it in a more, like, like, in a more, like, what's that word, she takes it in a more, like, I don't know what to call it, but she all the things that she has, like, like, all the things that she has done for him and everything, she takes it in a more, like, thank you for everything, for all of that. Like, yeah, and obviously, like, Rintaro himself definitely, like, understands like what his mother did for him with the hair, at least, like he definitely understands that, like, like he's at an age where he probably figured it out why she did it. um so yeah, like, you know like it's a good thing that he actually told her that, oh, thank you for doing this. Okay, so that was that. Now, few other things. We actually saw his brother and his father, and I guess we didn't really see them properly. Maybe we'll get to see them later. But yeah, his father is pretty tall. You can see that, and you can understand where he gets his height from, right? I think he's very tall. I like we didn't really see much of him, but his silhouette, not silhouette, his like we saw him from the back, and he's pretty damn tall. So yeah, it makes sense where he gets the height from. Right. And yeah, there you go. Now, that's about Rintaro and his family. Now let's talk about the other things in today's episode. His friends, for example, obviously they had no idea that his place was a cake shop. So they were obviously very happy, and like like I said, I still cannot figure out why Rintaro's friends. Oh yeah, I guess it's not like like I myself said it before. It's probably just kids being kids. Like what I'm saying is like I cannot figure out why did people like treat him like that. As kids, like it makes no sense. Like as a kid, he looked pretty like he wasn't really that tall, or he didn't really look scary or anything. He even had like dark hair. So like I just cannot figure it out. But like I said, it's probably along the lines of kids being kids, just treating him like that just because whatever reason. And then after he dyed his hair and everything, people actually started getting scared of him and thought like he was a delinquent or something, like all that. So yeah. And as Rintaro said that, I couldn't care less because, like I already had given up all hope from making friends and connecting with people. So I knew that dyeing my hair and putting on piercings is going to make me even more intimidating. Is going to make me intimidating and is going to push away people from me. But I've already given up making any hope for any wish for making any friends. So that's why it's fine. I'd rather go on with the piercing and blonde hair than like just not do it. And like, yeah, so I'd rather do it than not do it because I doubt I'll have ever have any friends. That was his thought process. That's why he just couldn't care less. Right. uh yeah. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, his friends. So they, after they came here, they were like, "Oh my God, it's a cake shop," and they're pretty excited, obviously, because it's a new thing, kind of like like having a friend who has like like a cake shop or something. It's a pretty cool thing, right? Because obviously, I would actually be, I would say, like I would actually be more like envious of that, because you can just go down. Obviously it won't work like that. You cannot just go down and eat the cakes. you know but still, you have a way of just going down and like just getting something for you, like a pastry or whatever. So it is a pretty, like like a pretty exciting thing. So I could understand when Usami was like, damn, this is so cool. like like, yeah. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That is how they reacted to it, and then obviously everyone went up, saw like Rintaro's place and everything. First time Rintaro got people up to the to his place, um, and then like his mother was like, "Oh, you know what? You guys take care of it." Those, the other guys that was there, that were doing helping out with the shop. She's like, "You guys take care of it. and she went up to obviously make food for them. No, first time Rintaro has brought people in, so, make food, and they did a little party. And oh, Waguri also came in. Subaru also came in, so they also joined them. I knew, as soon as I saw Kaoru, I knew. I was like, okay, I'm guessing she brought Subaru with her because, like, thinking about it, Subaru doesn't know about this place. And since Waguri, like, really likes the cakes from this place, she probably told Subaru that, oh, you know what, come with me. Like, now that we have, like, become friends, like Rintaro and us, you can go with me to the cake shop. So yeah, I thought, like, she probably brought Subaru with her, and there you go. So yeah, and then we all know what happened. They went up, they had started talking, eating, like, and his mother realized that, you know what, at last my son has actual friends, like, people who actually care about him. Okay, now all that have happened, and then in the end they decided that it's summer vacation time. So what do we do? Beach, fireworks, but before that, exam. So now they're going to have a study session. So yeah, I guess that's what's going to happen next episode. We'll see. I think this is like the ninth episode, right? 10th episode will be probably them studying, and then we'll probably have like 10, 11, maybe like in the beach, and it'll probably, like, this season will probably conclude with like a fireworks or a beach episode or whatever. So yeah. Okay, and there you go. That was today's episode. Really good episode. It was nice seeing, like, and getting to know the backstory of Rintaro's hair. It was nice seeing that, and getting to know that. It was very wholesome. The whole section with, like, Rintaro's experience and his mother kind of trying to help him out to, like, from when he was a kid, trying to help him out with his troubles at school and everything. But obviously she cannot really do much because school is a completely different realm. Like, you cannot really interfere over there. Like, you can help him out when, like, if it's anything related to, like, related in the house or something. But in the school it's a completely different thing. Like, you're like, it's like a second home to you when you are going to school. You spend like a lot of time over there. You have like a actual community over there. So, where in a community where your parents aren't allowed, nobody's allowed, it's just you and those people. So it's very important to, like, have a good good experience in school. Otherwise it's miserable. Like, it's miserable. If you don't have friends in school, it's a miserable experience because, you like spend most of the time over there. It must have been so hard. Like, the amount of, like, you have to go there, you have to go to school every single day except obviously Sunday, and I guess Saturdays, whatever. But you have to go there every day, spend at least like 6 to 7 hours over there. If you don't have any friends, it's just, yeah, it's not good. So it must have been such a bad experience for Rintaro, and, like, and his mother, even knowing it, couldn't really do anything because, like I said, it's a different thing. Like, you cannot really interfere in school matters as a parent. So the fact that he finally has people now, who appreciates him for who he is, that must have been such a relief. So yeah, so, all those things we got to see, wholesome, nice episode. So there you go. So that is it. I'll end this video here. Thank you for watching. This was my reaction to the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, episode 9. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.